Good morning to all of you who are present for this webinar. It is a pleasure for me to acknowledge IQAC MA College and DBT Star College team for supporting this webinar. And thanks to the organizers, Francis Xavier Sir, Smita teacher, and Thomas George for arranging this platform for sharing some information on online resources for physics students. In this time of COVID pandemic, we know that we are forced to make use of the online resources to a larger extent than before. So in this context, I would like to give you a glimpse of some of the resources that are available for physics students. This webinar was mainly intended for undergraduate and postgraduate students of Kerala, but since we have received a large number of registrations from other states also, I hope all of you get something to take away from this webinar. First, let me give you an outline of what I will be talking about today so that you have a clear idea of what to expect. First, I will be talking about the physics resources online, where I'll be introducing the online learning platforms which provide physics courses offered by various universities. And I will also give you some information regarding the websites that provide interactive simulations and animations in physics, and also some details about the virtual labs. And next, I will be talking about opportunities available for physics students during the course of their study, such as summer or winter schools and internships. I will not be talking much about the job opportunities for physics students. Just saying because I think some of you might be interested in that also. Then I will be talking about the examinations that the students can attend in order to qualify for higher studies, and also some competitions which they can take part during their course of study. And finally, I'll be talking about some free softwares and mobile applications that the physics students might find useful. So we can now straight away move on to the content of the webinar. So the first thing I would like to discuss with you is about online courses. Online courses are available on various MOOC platforms. MOOC means Massive Open Online Courses. MOOC is a short form for this one. And there are a large number of websites which provide these MOOC courses. And I have a few of them here, listed out here, which provide quality courses in physics. The first two in this list are Coursera and edX. These are internationally well-known platforms. I have a screen record of Coursera website here. You can see that you can join Coursera for free, and there are a large number of courses available in addition to physics. And due to this current pandemic situation, most of the courses are available for free. You can see it here. And since many of you might be staying home at this time with access to internet, and also you are having time at your disposal, so it is a good opportunity to learn from these resources about courses, about topics that you may not be otherwise possible to learn about as part of your syllabus. So it is a good opportunity to make use of. And another platform is edX. edX was created by MIT and Harvard, and it is a platform which is similar to Coursera. In edX also, joining the courses is similar to that is in Coursera. You can join for free, and you can join the courses which interest you. And the next two, Swayam and NPTEL, are Indian MOOC platforms. Here you can get lectures by eminent professors in various institutions in India. And there are also courses on different topics in physics. And the last one listed out here is physics courses by Professor H.C. Verma. His courses are well sought after by the students and also teachers. And his courses are available on the websites hcverma.in and also phi.hcverma.in. These are two websites where his courses are available, and currently his archived courses are available on these websites. When new courses are available, it will be posted in these websites. So these are the list of online learning platforms that I have to show. Next, I'll move on to the interactives and animations that are available for physics students on various websites. One of the well-known websites that provide interactive simulations is PhET. It's the most used interactive simulation platform. And you can see that they provide not only interactives in physics, but also in chemistry, biology, earth science, maths, etc. So here I have taken a recording of one of the interactives on bending of light. You can see that you can change the type, the material and environment of the object, and also you can change the wavelength, measure the angles, etc. in this interactive simulations. So there are a large number of simulations like this available on PhET website. It is provided by University of Colorado. And now we can quickly go through some other websites which provide physics simulations and interactives. These are My Physics Lab, then Physics at School, Physics Animations and Simulations by Vaskak, then Physics Flash Animations provided by University of Toronto, Animated Physics, which also lets you join their team if you have some programming knowledge in HTML5 or JavaScript. And PhysClips by University of New South Wales. Physics Animations provided by Penn State Schuylkill. Then Physics Classroom, which also provide interactives on various topics. You can see here. So these are only some of the websites that provide interactives and animations in physics. You can try out these interactives of simulations according to the topic you are studying during your free time. Now, the next resource that I'll be talking about is one of the most sought after resource during this COVID pandemic time. And you know that labs or practical sessions are something that cannot be avoided for a physics student or during a physics course. So one of the main attraction of virtual labs is that it allows students to apply what they have learned and also grasp the contents, concepts of various topics that they do in lab. So before I move on to the list of the resources under this category, let me quote from an article that I read recently about the virtual labs. It is this: virtual labs do improve some test scores and help students to prepare for real-life scientific investigations. But there is still debate about whether they really enhance learning over what a textbook can provide, whether fancy graphics are helpful or just a flashy distraction, and whether simulations really can or should replace real lab experience. Whatever the answer that may be, in my personal opinion, virtual labs should be used as a support to the real lab than as a replacement. So now we can move on to the various resources available under this category. The first one that I would like to mention is Virtual Labs, an initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, India. And as you can see here, it is a collection of virtual labs offered by various institutions in India, IIT, then Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. Such institutions provide virtual labs in physics. It's mainly people use the virtual lab by Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. You can see there are a lot of virtual labs available under different topics. Here, this is the website of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. I have taken a screen record of that one. You can see there are virtual labs available under different topics like biotechnology and biomedical, chemical sciences, physical sciences, etc. If you go to the physical science topic, you can see different experiments listed under different topics. And if you click on one of the experiment, you can see that they provide the theory, procedure, and also there is an option for simulation. In order to access that one, you have to sign up for a free account. And if you sign up, this is a sign up window. If you enter these details and register using this login, you can access the simulation. Now I will show you one of the simulation that I have recorded from this website. This is the experiment of prism spectrometer. You can simulate the experiments just like you do in the lab and understand the concepts that are used in the experiment. And another resource, so now we mentioned about virtual labs by MHRD. The second one that I would like to mention is Electric VLab. It is a 3D virtual lab for electricity and electronics. I would like to show you a video about the contents in this website. Here, you can play with the electrical circuits like in a fun game-like environment. You can construct or build the circuit and then do the simulations. You can build the circuit and run the simulation. And in their website, they provide a large number of videos on various circuits, which you can access. And if you are really interested in using this Electric Virtual Lab, they provide a student or hobbyist license, which costs around $10. And for the institutions, if they are interested, for 2 licenses, regular license, they provide around $13. So this is one of the options that you can use for electronics and electric experiments. And the third resource that I would like to mention under the virtual lab category is Circuit Lab. It helps to build and simulate electronic circuit. Here also I have a video to show you. You can see, you can construct the circuit, you can build the circuit, and you can vary the parameters if you would like to. There will be some default parameters which you can vary, and then you can run the simulations. You can see, you can run in as a function of time, and you can get the various properties of the parameter by changing the parameters of the circuit. You can see how it is performing under different conditions. Okay, now we are moving on to another section, which is opportunities for physics students. Here I'll be discussing about the various summer or winter schools and internships opportunities that the students can avail. Before we discuss about this, let us see why should we go for an internship. The first and foremost reason is to gain experience. Whether we are doing internship in research or in industry, the main reason why we are doing it is to gain experience. We lack the experience and we are trying to gain some. And the second reason will be to have a better understanding, because every time a student is going for an internship, once he or she finishes the internship, they will be having more knowledge than they started out with. So the internships helps us to have a better understanding. Another reason is to have the opportunity to learn and watch. When we go for an internship, we are learning from the best in that area. So we have someone to look up to, and we can also learn from them new skills and also new things about research and life that we didn't know about. and then to gain the ability to put new things into practice. We can try out different skills and tools without having the pressure of going wrong, because our mentors know that we are new to that area and we have to learn from our mistakes. So we don't have the pressure to try out. We don't have any pressure if we are trying to try out new things or new tools. Then lastly, to communicate and to build confidence. In an internship, you will be working together in a team or you will be working individually. In both cases, you might have to give presentations or you have to suggest new ideas in your team. So these all things build your confidence, which will help you to grow. So these are some of the reasons why you should go for an internship. So before I show you the list of the internships or summer school opportunities, one thing to note is that every summer school or internship, most of them, that will ask for a project proposal at the time of the application. And mostly it will be mentioned that you have to give the proposal in a specific topic instead of a broad area. So what you can do is you have to first find out your area of interest and then select a sub area. From that, select a specific topic of interest. And once you have decided on that, you have to do some extra reading on that topic, and maybe you can take up some MOOCs related to that topic from the open learning platforms that we already discussed about. The good thing about this is that you will be saved out of the last minute rush of submitting an application. So in order to save time, it is better to save the pressure or last minute rush. It is better to start out early. You have to develop a reading or writing habit initially, and that will help you in the submitting of the application by avoiding the last minute rush. Then once you have information regarding the topic of interest, you can develop the project proposal. And it is also better to discuss the proposal with the faculty member who is expected to write your letter of recommendation. Because in most of the internships or summer schools, you will be asked to give a recommendation letter from a faculty in your institution. So these are some of the ideas that I would like to give you before I move on to the list of the opportunities that are available. These were collected in last few years. So for the first year degree students, I would like to list out some of the opportunities that have come across over the years. The first one is Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. This is actually having 3 schemes, one for +1 students, then for +2 students, and the last one is for the first year undergraduate students. And the second one that I would like to mention is NIUS Physics Program. It is an initiative by Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education. And the third one is the Summer Research Fellowship Program by Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, in short, JNCASR. And there are also summer programs at IIT Goa, then SENS IASC. SENS is Center for Nanoscience and Engineering, and also at Manipal Center for Natural Sciences, Manipal. So these provide summer schools. And the last one listed here is FOSI Summer Fellowship. This is for students who are interested in open source softwares. This last one, that is FOSI Summer Fellowship, it is to promote open source softwares. The next is for opportunities for the second BSc Physics students. Among the degrees undergraduate students, it is in the second year that most of the opportunities are coming. So the most common familiar ones are the Summer Research Fellowship programs by Indian Academy of Sciences, then by JNCASR. There is the program called Physics Training and Talent Search, which is there every year. It is mainly focusing on experimental skills of the students. Then summer programs by Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. International Center for Theoretical Sciences, TAFR, then IIST, ISER Trivandrum, NIT Trichypilli, then Inter-University Accelerator Center, ISER Pune, IMSC Chennai, SENS IAC, ISER Mohali, IIT Goa, and MCNS Manipal. These all provide summer programs for physics students. And there is the POSI Summer Fellowship, which is available for students of every year. And coming to the third year of BSc Physics, there is one winter school available, which is called the Radio Astronomy Winter School. And this is provided by Radio Physics Laboratory. And then there are summer programs provided by International Center for Theoretical Sciences, then IIST, NIT Trichy, ISER Pune, IMSC Chennai, SENS IAC, then HRI Harishchandra Research Institute Allahabad, ISER Mohali, MCNS Manipal. So these are the programs available for final year BSc students. And regarding the number of opportunities, the most number of opportunities are for the first MSc Physics students. There are two winter schools. I have come across around 30, nearly 30 opportunities for first MSc Physics students. And the first two are winter schools, IIST Astronomy and Astrophysics School and Radio Astronomy Winter School, which I have already mentioned. Then there is a program exclusively for women candidates, that is the TAFR Vigyan Vidushi Summer Program. And there are the summer programs by various institutes such as Indian Academy of Sciences, JNCASR, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, ICTS, IIT Madras, Harishchandra Research Institute Allahabad, Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, ISER Mohali, IIST, Institute of Plasma Research, then the PTPS program, and also programs by IIT Palakkad, ISER Pune, INST Mohali, this is Institute for Nanoscience and Technology at Mohali, then NCRA on Radio Astrophysics, then IMSC Chennai, National Center for Earth Science Studies, IIT Roorkee, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, SENS IAC, then ACSIR, Bose Institute, IHCR Kolkata, IIT Goa, MCNS Manipal, IIT Mandi, and ICTS. So these are the list of programs that I have come across over the years. And lastly, for the programs for the second MSc Physics students, they can avail the programs by International Center for Theoretical Sciences, then Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, INST Mohali, HRI Allahabad, Bose Institute, then IIST, IIT Palakkad, and MCNS Manipal. These all programs are available for the second MSc Physics students. So now we have listed out most of the programs that are available for degree and PG students. And in this year, because of the COVID situation, most of these, almost all of these programs were cancelled because they require the student to be present at the institution. So most of these were cancelled. And I would like to mention a new program, that is virtual internship with science leaders, which was started by Dr. Felix Bast of Central University of Punjab. And this program, it is open for all, from the students of Standard 7 up to PhD students. And since it is a virtual internship, no stipend or financial assistance is available for this program. And currently, 2 batches is already given a list of mentors. So this is a good program. I think it will continue in the coming years also. And also this year, there was another program by Astronomy Club of IIT Bombay, which was also a virtual school on Python for astronomy. So these are some of the options that were introduced in this year because of the COVID situation. Then there are paid internships available for both UG and PG students. And this is provided by International Association for the Exchange of Students for Technical Experience. It is in short form is IAE-STE. It is this website. You can get the information regarding these internships by this association. There are internships available in various countries, on-site and also remote internships are available. For on-site internships, there is some stipend that is provided, but for remote internships, usually there are no stipends provided. And one thing to note is that there will be some initial payment required for availing these internships. Now we have listed out almost all the internship opportunities available for students. Now we will move on to the competitions that the students can take part during their course of study. The first three listed out here is by Indian Association of Physics Teachers. The first one is a talent examination in physics. It's called National Graduate Physics Examination, or NGPE. The second one is to promote the culture of doing experiments. It is called National Anveshika Experimental Skill Test, or NAE-ST. Third one is an essay competition in physics. These three are by Indian Association of Physics Teachers. And the fourth one listed here is International Astronomy and Astrophysics Competition. It is an international competition which was started in 2019. And the second edition of this competition was just over. And this is to promote studies in astronomy and astrophysics. And the last one here is APT Talent Search Examination. It is a talent examination in physics conducted by Academy of Physics Teachers, Kerala. These are only some of the competitions that the physics students can take part on. And also there are many essay competitions, elocution, presentation competitions, and quiz competitions that are available every year. Then there are some project funding opportunities also available for both school, college, and college students by Kerala State Council for Science, Technology, and Environment, KCSTE. The scheme for promoting young talents in science, that is PITIS. It is a program that is available for school students and also the undergraduate students. Then there is the student project scheme by KCSTE, which is available for postgraduate students. So in order for the final year project, even if there are no, you haven't availed any internship opportunity, you can apply for this project funding and do some research in an area that interests you. And after the undergraduate program, there are several PG entrances that are available for physics students to attend in order to qualify for higher studies. The most common among them is joint and admission test for MSc, which is required for admission to IITs, NITs, IISER, NICER, etc. And then there is the exam called QCET for admission to central universities. The third one listed here is JEST, Joint Entrance Screening Test. It is for admission to various institutions, in research institutions in India. The fourth one is an admission test conducted by IUCA for admission to various research programs. IUCA is an institution that deals with astronomy and astrophysics. Then there are other PG entrances such as TFR Graduate School Admission, then Hyderabad Central University, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Pondicherry University, Banaras Hindu University, BITS. BITSAT is for admission to BITS campuses. Then Bharatiyar University, PISAT, the last 5 are universities in Kerala, Cochin University, Mahatma Gandhi University, then Kerala, Kannur, and Calicut universities. They all conduct entrance exams for admission to PG programs in their university centers. You can get a detailed list of PG entrance examinations at this website, collegedunia.com, exams/MSc. This is only a selected list of the PG entrances that I have shown you. And also there are opportunities available after PG. The first two are most of you are familiar with, CSIR UGC NET exam and the GATE examination. These two most of you might be familiar with. And the third one over here is JEST exam that I already mentioned, Joint Entrance Training Test. It is conducted for admission to various research programs of eminent research institutes. Then the fourth one listed here is the programs by Bhabha Atomic Research Center. One is Orientation Course for Engineering Graduates and Science Postgraduates, OCES, and BAE Graduate Fellowship Scheme for Engineering Graduates and Physics Postgraduates, BGFS. These are two training schools by BARC. And for this, the qualification is either GATE qualified or they conduct an online exam to select students to this training schools. Then there is the KSCSE Research Fellowship Program, which students who are who have passed out the PG course can apply for. Then there are departmental admission tests conducted by various university centers for admission to their research programs. So these are some of the opportunities or higher studies opportunities for students completing their PG. Coming towards the end of the webinar, I would like to introduce to you some useful free softwares and applications. First one is, of course, Google Apps. You can use the Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Google Slides and Google Classroom. You already might be using all these services of Google. And there is another one called Jamboard, which is for interactive collaboration. It's a whiteboard-like application. And another one I would like to introduce is the website Overleaf, www.overleaf.com. It provides a collaborative LaTeX editor. It is an online service. LaTeX is a scientific typesetting language, which where you input your text or images as codes, and then you get a output which is neatly typeset. There are a large number of templates available for reports, journal articles, etc. And this is very commonly used nowadays for submission to various research journals. So this is LaTeX is a very useful application that you can try out. I have mentioned about the International Astronomy and Astrophysics competition. In that competition, special mention is given to students who submit their answers typeset in the LaTeX. So it is a very useful skill that is required for a research career. Then another one that I would like to mention is SciDavis. SciDavis is a data analysis and visualization software which has most of you, I think many of you might be familiar with the Origin software. This SciDavis has most of the features of the Origin software, and one advantage is that it is a free software. You can plot your, if you have some data to plot in your final year project or something, you can plot that using SciDavis, and also you can fit it to certain equations or something also using this program. So this is a very useful one for your final year project. Then GNU Octave. GNU Octave is a scientific computing language. It is compatible with the MATLAB program, which is used for scientific computing. And this one also, the advantage is that it is a free software, whereas MATLAB is a paid software. And Tracker video analysis and modeling tool. This one is particularly useful if you have some time-dependent data to take for your final year project or any other project. If you are taking some time domain data, it is a useful software. Here, what is shown is a bouncing car. Its position is plotted as a function of time. This position is obtained, position versus time is obtained by taking a video, and from that we are grabbing the different position coordinates at different times, and it is plotted here. And after we get this data, we can maybe take it into Sci-Davis, and there we can fit it to various equations and see for the conclusions in these measurements. You can also try out this website of Open Source Physics for various resources provided by them. Another data plotting application which is available on mobile that I would like to introduce is 2D data plotter. I came across this one very recently, and this provides an output which is quite similar to our usual graph paper. And you can not only plot the data, you can fit it to equations also. So this is a very useful application, mobile application, which you can use in your virtual lab sessions. And there are many programming languages that are studied during your PG or UG courses. In our university, there is C++ language which is taught during the UG course. And for this C++ language, we can use several compilers, and two of them I have listed out here. One is Coding C++, it is a mobile application, and the other one is Dev C++, it is a desktop application. Both are having simple interface which a beginner can easily understand. And another resource is FlashFox. It is a mobile browser. You know, for running virtual lab or animations, we need a Flash enabled browser. So in a mobile, FlashFox is a very useful browser, since it is a Flash enabled browser. Another one mobile application is Firefox. Firefox is using your smartphone as a tool for experimenting. You can see here that several experiments can be conducted using a smartphone. If you are installing this Firefox application, the smartphone itself can be used as a barometer, light sensor, accelerometer, microphone, magnetometer, timer, etc. So it has a large number of applications pre-built in it, which can be used to conduct various experiments. So it provides a world of physics in your smartphone. GIMP is an image editor. It is the short for GNU Image Manipulation Program, with a lot of features available in it, just like the Adobe Photoshop program. This also is a useful addition to your project or something similar. And Mathway. Mathway is a mobile application which you can use to solve mathematical problems using your mobile. Then circuit diagram. by circuitdiagram.org. This is this both web application and also desktop application is available, and this one helps you to draw neat circuit diagrams, and this is also particularly useful if you are doing final year project in electronics, or you have to insert some figure circuit, draw a new circuit for your project. And also in there is some simulation option available in beta for this circuit diagram. And lastly, I would like to also introduce an application called Programming Hub. Programming Hub allows you to learn a large number of languages and different programs like Android application development, etc. In a single interface. The Programming Hub currently they provide certification also at a nominal fee, and this certification may become useful for your career later. And finally, I would like to introduce some journals that you can refer to get some ideas for your final year projects. These are Physics Teacher by American Association of Physics Teachers, then Physics Education by Indian Association of Physics Teachers, Physics Education by IOP Science, then Resonance and Current Science are journals by Indian Academy of Sciences, then Journal of Undergraduate Reports in Physics, and Journal of Student Science and Technology. Most of these are having free access to the articles, except the Physics Teacher and Physics Education. Even in those journals, some of the articles are free, and you can still access the abstract of these papers. So if you are interested in any particular topic which you have read across in these journals, and if the full text is not available, most of the institutions have access to something called InflipNet, where you can access many of the journals. So you can go approach your library for details about InflipNet, or if it is not available, you can still approach your teachers for if they have can access you the article. So these are some of the journals you can go through in order to get some idea for a final year project. And about details on seminar or workshop or other programs that is happening across India, I would like to suggest some websites that I have used in these times to get information. These are Campusine, Research Event Alerts, and NoticeBard. There are still some websites which are providing this information, but I have used these three in order to get information regarding the various seminars or workshops in physics that is happening. They provide information regarding various topics, and you can get information of physics also, physics events also from these websites. And I would like to end the session with a quote. Dreams are not what you see in your sleep. Dreams are the things which do not let you sleep. So work for your career in physics. Thank you.